Come on, people!
Hello again, my people. Happy New Year. Hello again, my people. Happy New Year. Right, it's God's doing that we are here 2022. And I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. I did. And I hope you enjoyed that part. Did you try the recipe? I'm sure you really did. Okay, so today I am going to be showing you guys how I make one of the delicious local snack that we Nigerians enjoy so much, and that recipe is chinchin. So I'm going to show you how I make my local chinchin, and if you try it, you will not regret you did. Okay, let's get started. So for this recipe, I have these ingredients laid out here. I already did some prep. So here is my flour. I have 6 cups of all-purpose flour, and I've already sifted it. This is my measuring cup. So I sifted 6 cups of all-purpose flour. I also sifted 1.5 cups of sugar, and I have my butter. So this is 4 ounces of butter. This butter is organic. It's organic butter. So to tell you that what you're about to enjoy is very safe. I use organic butter, and it is very, very safe. So the organic butter comes in sachets, and each sachet is 4 ounces. And so for 6 cups, I'm going to use just 1 sachet. I brought this one out so that it could melt by the time I start mixing. So it's really soft. These ones are all in the fridge. I just brought them out, so it's still very hard. I wouldn't like to use them. But one thing I'm going to do is, for this, I'm not going to put a whole 1 sachet. I am just going to cut a little bit of it, because this is 6 cups. If I use all of this, my butter, my chinchin is going to be soft. Okay, so butter is what makes your chinchin what you want it to be. Do you want it crunchy? You don't want to use a lot of butter, and you don't also want it very hard, because if you make it very hard, you're going to lose your tooth. Okay, so there is, we apply moderation in everything we do. So for this 6 cups, I'm going to use this one, but a little bit. I'll just take off a little bit just to make it perfectly crunchy the way I want it. All right, I think I've talked so much on this butter. All right, so next I'm going to use 3 eggs. You might choose not to use eggs. You might just use 1 or 2, but I'm using 3. I like the texture it gives me in my chinchin. And I have my pig milk. Naija people say yay. All right, so you can use any type of milk. You can use whole milk, but this is pasteurized, and this is very good for cooking. It gives it the very taste that you want. You cannot resist. All right, so that's why I choose to use this, and it will add to the water I'm adding to the chinchin. Okay, and then I have my nutmeg. The nutmeg is just half teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, because the butter has salt in it already, so I do not want to overuse salt. I don't want to go crazy on salt, so I'm just using 1/4 of salt. And here is a big guy, baking powder. You can make chinchin without baking powder. Okay, so but if you go crazy on baking powder, it would rise so much that the inside of your chinchin will be there's going to be a hole in it, so you don't want it to rise. You want your chinchin, the inside of your chinchin, to still be that thick. Okay, so for the thickness, you go low on, moderate on baking powder. So here I have 1 tablespoon and 1/4. So 1 and 1/4 of a tablespoon. Okay, and so finally I have my water here. I'm going to add according to the texture. I will just I plan to add 1 cup of water, but because I have this milk with me, I'll add my milk first and then check the texture of my pastry before I add water. So I have my cup here. I reserve it to add it whenever. And finally, the last ingredients I'm going to use is oil. So I'm using this vegetable oil. Already I've poured the contents in my frying pan and it's already on the stove. Alright, so this is the kind of oil I want to use. I didn't want to go using, I'm a fan of olive oil, but I don't want to use it for this chinchin, okay? Alright, so that's it. And I'm going to start mixing now. But before I do that, I need to get prepared, okay? And be in my usekwu regalia. I'll see you shortly. Okay, now I'm going to mix my dry ingredients together, and then after that I'll mix my liquid ingredients, okay? So I'll begin with adding my sugar. Initially I said that I was going to use 1.5 cups of sugar. Actually, that is inaccurate. So when I make 12 cups of flour, I use 1.5 cups of sugar. But this is exactly half of 12, 6 cups of sugar, 6 cups of flour. So I'm going to be using 3/4 cups of sugar. So this is not up to 1 cup. Otherwise, it will be too sugary that you can't even handle it. Alright, so here's my sugar. And I'll also add my baking powder, my nutmeg, my salt. Okay, now before I add my butter, I'll first of all stir and mix these things together so that they will mix evenly. Alright, I'll mix the ingredients together. Let's leave it there. I'll break my egg and mix it with my milk. That's how I like to do it. I don't know why I do this, but I really like it. So I'll put my eggs and my milk together. Here you go. I'm getting there about 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to mix it together with my egg. Just mix to get a homogeneous mixture. Yes, I still remember my chemistry. Good mixture. There you go. I'll keep it. And like I said, for my butter, I'm not going to use 1 whole sachet. And reason is that I wouldn't want the butter to be too much in the chinchin, or else, like I explained during the introduction, my butter will be too soft and my chinchin will be too soft, and you will have it all in the oil. The chinchin would split in the oil because it has excess butter. Alright, I'm going to mix this together into the flour. Just make sure you get it in the flour. Alright. There you go. And I'll add this before I start adding water. So the consistency I get after adding this, the milk and the egg, will determine what quantity of water I'm going to use. Remember I mentioned 1 cup, but I might end up using just half of it. Alright, I would like to use my hand. That goes faster. To help me, I'm going to introduce my water. Okay. Your hand will get messy. But what do? That's the process. For chinchin, you wouldn't want to go with spatula. It wouldn't help because you're not going to mix it accurately. Alright, so here I'm going to pour 1 cup, but I'm going to add it gradually. This is my 1 cup. I'm not going to definitely add it all. So I'll go gentle. This is about half. Trying to form. The dough is forming. Okay. You don't want to add too much water in your chinchin, or else it wouldn't be crunchy. It will be too soft. Of course, you don't want to be eating buns, in the name of chinchin. I'm almost there. So it's out of my way. Alright, as you can see, the dough is ready, and I'm going to keep it in the fridge. Cover it with foil and keep it in the fridge for 20 minutes. Yes, I'm going to cover it. Keeping it in the fridge helps it to, it's going to rise and it's going to set. So I will be ready for kneading. Alright, I'll just go keep it and put it in the fridge. Okay, it's been 20 minutes since I put this in the fridge, and here's what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to lay it on my work surface and start the kneading process. Alright, so one thing you want to do whenever you are kneading is to make sure you apply flour on your work surface. It helps with the kneading. Okay, it's not going to reduce the taste of your flour, so don't be scared. Right, so I just cut this, make it into sections so it will be easy for me to I'll put them back here and take them one at a time. So I'm going to start kneading. You want to flatten it, but you also want to make sure that it's not too flat. Okay. See, the easiest thing I do is I go this way. I just make it into half. Look at the thickness. I don't want to flatten it any further, but I can just do this to make it smooth. Take off the edges, the rough edges. Right, so it doesn't matter how you cut it. All you need is make sure you chop your chin chin just into the shape and size that you want. And I go this way. Some like it bigger than this or even smaller than this. So you're not going to be judged by the size of your chin chin. What you want is the result thereafter. So I'm going to be putting them here and I'll start frying from here. If you choose to use your cotton ball, that's fine too. But I just use my countertop. All right. I learned to make chin chin from my mother-in-law. The woman taught me a lot. Her soul rest in peace. And chin chin is one of the cheapest snack you can make. Just with fewer ingredients and you're done. So I'll continue to do this. Okay, I'm going to do the last ball, and I want to show you one thing that I did to the rest of my dough. So if you do this dough this way, just make it into a ball. You're not going to have rough edges like I had in my first one. So to get rid of the rough edges, just bring it this way. Okay. Alright. The edges are going to be smooth this time. When it starts sticking, try to add your flour, okay? That helps a lot. Again, I'm trying not to over flatten it. Alright. I like to split it in the middle. They may not have the same length, so that's why you start by cutting the long ones. And here you go. Just be free. Any size, any length. The only reason I try to get an even size is because when you're frying, you want them to get cooked at the same time. So that's the only concern. Other than that, chin chin can take any shape, any size. And that's the cutting. Alright, before I started cutting, I started heating my oil. And my oil is quite hot now, but one thing that you want to try is just to be sure that your oil is hot enough. You just put one piece of chin chin inside, and when it floats, then your oil is hot. And you don't want to fry on high, see it floats, okay? Just float it. So I want to go on medium heat, because high heat will just get your chin chin cooked in no time, and the inside wouldn't be cooked. So I'm going to be introducing my chin chin inside. Now that I'm sure that my oil is hot enough, be careful so that you don't get yourself burned. This oil seems to be hot, so the best thing I'll do is to reduce my flame and make sure I'm cooking on medium heat, not low heat because it will soak the oil, and not high heat so that your chin chin doesn't get burnt. Right? See? It's floating, so the oil is hot. And I would be flipping with this, making sure that all the sides, get the oil. But one thing I wouldn't do is start flipping right now, because if I do, my chin chin is still very soft. It's gonna split. Alright, I think I can do that now. Make sure. See? Alright, that's how you flip. Just that, you do it from time to time. So there's something with chin chin. It's a very nice snack. When you have it at home, when you come back from work or you come back from anywhere, or you feel like you want to snack on something, it's really available. And this chin chin can last as long as 1 week plus. So it's not like puff puff or buns that if you keep it for too long, it gets bad. It doesn't really get bad easily. So, it's there handy for you. Alright, if you have chin chin at home and somebody visits you, in Nigeria, nobody will tell you, oh, I'm coming to your house, they'll just bruise it. And if you don't have anything, you can just serve it as cola. Cola nut is not readily available, so you can just substitute by bringing out chin chin with Coca-Cola or malt, Martina, any type of malt drink. And man, you've served your visitor. And same thing applies to, when your kids come back from school and they're hungry and mom has not cooked anything, you can just give them this snack to, hold off until mom finishes cooking. So it's very, very good for you to have it at home. And I'm sure you're going to try this recipe of mine so that you have something handy at home anytime you want it. See, the chin chin is cooking. Be sure to keep flipping especially when you see that one side is getting darker than the other. You want to try work on it so that that side doesn't get burnt, and then the other side will just be whitish. And when you get that brownish golden brown color, you know that your chin chin is ready. I just love this size. It's not too big, not too small. Just the perfect size of it. I love. Watch me, I've been trying to increase my heat a little bit, just a little bit. Adjusting it as needed. That's the key to frying chin chin. You know that chin chin requires deep frying, so you add enough oil, but you don't also want to add plenty of oil that will start overflowing, especially the fact that this chin chin has egg in it. So if you fill up the oil to the brim, or even more than what I put, it will start having bubbles and it will start going up, and it might be very hard for you to control. So just be wise in adding your oil. And look at what we got here. It's almost ready for me to get it out. Alright, I think it's ready for me to get it out. Look at the color. Beautiful, attractive, irresistible chin chin. Here, I have to put this, that way the excess oil in this chin chin might drain. So before I finally put them in the can, I want it to drain. I like how the paper towel sucks out the oil. Alright, look at it. Isn't this beautiful? So I'm going to start frying the second batch. Remember, my oil is hot already, so I don't have any fear if my oil is hot or not, because I've used it once. And now here I introduce it as my second batch. I still have 2 more batches remaining. Okay, this is done too. See the beautiful golden brown color? I'm going to take this out as well and do my last batch. See, it's crunchy. You can even hear the sound even while it's not dry. Okay, this is good. Looks good. And I'm going to then add my last batch. This is about to be done, so we're almost to the end of this cooking. Sometimes people fry chin chin and it's very dark, very brown. It's because they fry it with very much, high heat. Chin chin doesn't need high heat; it just needs moderate heat. Medium heat is fine. And if you think it's too high, you can just reduce it, but not low heat. Don't go using low heat to prepare chin chin, because it will disappoint you. your chin chin will soak all the oil that you're using to fry. You lose your tooth for eating such chin chin. You can't even bite it. It's just because either they are economizing the ingredients, they don't want to spend more. But then butter is not even that expensive. So why wouldn't you do something to make your food, irresistible? And I would just eat such chin chin, and the moment you eat that, you will know what is lacking in that chin chin. So butter is the key. But while you use your butter, make sure not to use too much of it or too small of the butter. And this is cooked too. Here you go. Look at our chin chin. If you leave it too long, it will just be dark. Here you go, your chin chin is done. Look at how beautiful it looks. Okay, that's it. Here is your delicious chin chin. This is beautiful, attractive, irresistible, delicious. Okay, here. I can't break it easily. Crunchy. Okay. I'm so happy you watched me cook this, and I'm sure you're going to try it in your own kitchen. Alright, and when you do, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Please, if you like this recipe and if you like the way I fried my chin chin, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Once again, Happy New Year. Bye.